Hey guys, welcome to Yay Basketball Daily, Friday, December 2nd, 2022. Only one game to cover today, but yesterday when we were talking about getting ready for this one, we underestimated how good this one could be. I was dead wrong. The Pistons upset Luka and the Mavericks 131-125 in overtime. Your boy Killian Hayes.
Yeah, we didn't anticipate the Killian Hayes game.
We did not.
That's on us.
I'm going to show you the lead tracker here. You can tell first half mostly Mavericks, and then the blue wave of the Pistons in the second half, and they kept fighting to make it a game, and the Mavericks ended up, of course, forcing overtime in the last minute. It went from, like you mentioned, it went from was it a 107-101 lead, or
kind of a game of swings at the end. Went from being a 103-94 Pistons lead, and then the Mavs went on a 10-0 run to go up one. That brought it to 104-103, and then the Pistons responded with a 10-point run of their own to get to 113-104, and then the game ended on a what would that be, 14-3 run for the Mavericks to force overtime, which was a game that did not really deserve overtime. But if we didn't get overtime, we wouldn't have gotten this crazy Killian Hayes finish. Career 28% three-point shooter.
Yeah, which I have.
Knocks down a couple big ones.
126 to play, tied at 125. Boyan, who also had himself a game, played 41 minutes. I don't know what that stat was, but hits a three with 41 seconds remaining. I guess that was the...
And if you're Dorian Finney-Smith, you're just a little shocked that he pulled that, because it's not a shot that he shoots.
Yeah.
But he pulled the exact same one twice and knocked them both down. So
yeah, I'm trying to see the second one there.
Once that ball gets past the double.
Just a moment. Here we go. That's only showing me this weird... It's the same one, but there it is again. For whatever reason.
That is the same one. Yeah, it's not showing the first one.
Can't see that first one for whatever reason, but...
Well, good news. It looked exactly like that one. That was 8 points. Those were 6 of his 8 points in overtime. He finished with 22. That was a season high, not a career high, but... listening to the Pistons broadcast, the color commentator said this was unequivocally Killian Hayes' best career game as a Piston, and I'll take his word on it. He's had to endure way more Killian Hayes games than I have, so we're gonna go ahead and chalk this up as his best career game for the young American Frenchman.
Yeah,
born here but played in France. So yeah, a little bit of a surprising win for the Pistons. Luka was frustrated in the fourth quarter and overtime with his teammates, setting up a lot of good opportunities that the Mavericks couldn't capitalize on. It's getting to a point where we watch some of these games and you're like, you have a generational talent. How have you not built anything better around him? No disrespect to Christian Wood and Spencer Dinwiddie, but I think Luka probably deserves a little bit better cast than what he's got right now.
Yeah, I think we can all agree on that. They got to put some better talents around him. That's kind of consistently been the story so far of his young career. It's exceptional stats, underperforming team because he's got nobody around him.
And they just don't do anything around him. I mean, so many isolation plays last night. You're watching him trying to create something, and it's 4 guys standing around the key. I mean, it's not a pretty offense a lot of the time.
So here I have his fourth quarter. He took 4. He went 1 of 4 in the fourth, and here is his. Here's what it looked like in the fourth quarter. Defended well. Misses that first one there, and these are late fourth quarter. I mean, he was timely. They needed one, and he got one. He got one for him, but yeah, you can see why he would be frustrated. Hardly any motion on the off the ball. They do that high pick and roll, which is 80% of NBA offenses these days. But Finally
And,
hits that one that they needed.
Boyan's a sneaky good defender
Yeah.
on your other team's best player for years now. I mean, that was during his Pacers days. He was always the LeBron stoppers, but he's the best guy you could put on LeBron during those Pacers Heat rivalries. So, rough look for the Mavs. Haven't checked where that drops them in the standings, but I think they have to be a team. I don't know. I keep looking at the Mavericks and the Heat as two teams that you would think would want to be making a move at some point. Teams that are pretty close to being contenders, but if they're taking themselves seriously, they know they got to do something because they're not there yet.
Yeah, definitely. The Mavericks are 11th. They're 10-11. When they were probably looking at the schedule, they probably chalked this one up to an immediate win. The Pistons are, prior to last night, were tied for last in the league. Worst record in the league. It's 6-17. I guess they were one game back of the Magic and the Rockets, but they get a win last night. Very surprising, I think, for everybody. It's a reverse trap game, maybe. They had that big game against the Warriors the other night, and now they lose to the Pistons.
Pistons, 131 points to the second worst shooting team in the league.
Yeah,
not great.
Yeah, not great. And 1 of 4 for Luka in the fourth quarter against the worst defensive team in the league, and that is by a large margin. So that was the surprise of the day. Let's go ahead and look forward to the weekend. Yeah, what games are standing out to you that you're looking forward to this weekend?
Yeah, a little front loaded. I think there's some good games on tonight, and then maybe not as many Saturday and Sunday. So tonight you've got the kind of headline matchup, Lakers-Bucks, the return of Chris Middleton. Very funny to see a million Lakers fans in Woj's replies to the announcement that Middleton was coming back against the Lakers. Just a million Lakers AVIs going, of course he's doing this against us. So hopefully that's a good return. I'm sure they're not obviously rushing Middleton back, so I'm sure he's fully healthy and ready to go. So I'm excited to see what the Bucks can do for the first time this season, kind of fully back with their full team. Not missing at least 2 starters like they have been most of the season.
This is definitely not the matchup that it was back in 2020. Remember, I mean, that was I think that was the last time that these games were probably the matchup that Giannis is putting the crown on his head, and then LeBron, of course, that crazy back-to-back, the game against the Clippers, the game against the Bucks, where he went for 40 plus in both of those to make it to ignite his MVP case, and then obviously the league gets suspended. But yeah, definitely looking forward to that one. My 2 favorite teams, my 2 lifelong favorite teams, the Grizzlies, of course, which have been my lifelong favorite teams since the day I was born, and then the Sixers, my adopted son recently. That's a good matchup. Just I don't know what to make of it. We were talking about the Sixers defensive woes when it comes to the backcourt, and Ja could have himself a little game. And Triple J's back and seems to be back to form. A little bit, at least defensively, he seems to not be missing much of a step. So we'll see how they throw Steven Adams and Triple J and Santi at Joel Embiid, which will be the big matchup, of course.
Yeah, kind of got some matchups of bigs. It's kind of like, okay, Giannis and AD both been going off recently. What's that going to look like? Embiid versus Triple J inside, and then if you're really looking for the sicko game of the night, that would be my Magic versus my Cavs, 2 teams that kind of have prioritized length in recent years more than any other team. So I'm interested to see, because they're kind of built the same way. They've got strong backcourts, strong interior presence. Don't really have any wings on either team. So we're kind of looking at what can Cole Anthony and Banchero and Bol do against Garland and Mitchell and Mobley. Yeah. So I'm really interested to see. I'm afraid the Cavs are just going to kind of blow the doors off of them, but hope it's interesting for a while, because that's a good intriguing matchup of some pretty unique players.
Yeah, I would expect the Cavs to take care of business there. Saturday, the battle of the step kids there in Blazers Jazz. The first time they played, the Jazz won, which was November 19th. Jazz are at home this time. Last time was in Portland, so still no Dame. At least we don't think so. He is supposed to come back soon, but I don't think this will be the game. So we'll kind of see how Anthony Simons and Shaden Sharp and that whole squad, of course Jeremy Grant and all them, can do against the beast that is the Utah Jazz.
Jazz got to get back on track or decide to actually tank it. Now they're kind of in a weird no man's land. They got to figure out one way or the other. And then Sunday, or go ahead.
No, yeah, I think the you're right but the West is still so tight. Like they are still the 7 seed, but they're a half game back from the 4 spot. So you know, but at the same time, they're a game and a half out of the playoffs. So, you know, yeah, you're right. It's interesting to see how they're going to handle it. Looking on to Sunday,
we've got first game of the day. If you'd like to skip the early football slot, check out Nuggets Pelicans, 2 seed versus 3 seed, at least right now. So I'm very much looking forward to that game. I think
be a good one.
I can't really remember too many Jokic Zion matchups so far. So I'm really excited to see what that's like. 2 teams that are still a little dinged up. I don't think we'll see MPJ. We probably won't see CJ McCollum. But yeah, that's kind of a test. 2 teams that we're kind of talking about, like, you know, are they as good as the Suns? Are they really, you know, 2 seed, 3 seed quality teams? So I'm hoping this is a good game.
I'm sure it will be. You know, Zion gets his chance to make a statement against probably the premier big man in the West. Definitely the premier big man in the West, and hopefully gets to make an impact. That kind of does it on Sunday, except for Pacers Blazers kind of moves the needle for me. Another couple step kids. I mean, you know, we mentioned the Blazers, but the Pacers have been on that win streak, and Tyrese Halliburton is such a fun watch. I mean, he is a high basketball IQ player. He's very, very fun to watch, and if you haven't seen him, definitely check it out. Some of the things he's doing is really impressive. His recall of that game winner against the Lakers.
Oh, that was crazy.
He's doing it. Yeah, I mean, he knew every single step that happened. So
good chance to light the beam there. We got a beam opportunity, and then Celtics Nets. Woof. I don't know if I'll catch all of it, but kind of a good barometer game. The Nets have started feeling themselves a little bit, rattled off a few wins. Here's a good test. Are you actually, you know, one of the top teams in the East or not?
Yeah.
So let's see how this one goes.
Are you
on
for
Sunday.
real? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is what we've got to look forward to this weekend. That kind of wraps it up with only one game on a Thursday night. A pretty quick Friday for us. Anything you got for the people, my friend?
Just mourning the loss of my Costa Rican brothers.
Yes.
There was a sweet 4-minute period where they were eliminating Spain and Germany, and then Germany rattled off 2 more goals. So.
I was going to say, specify that you're talking about the World Cup, because it kind of just sounded like you had 2 Costa Rican brothers that passed away or something.
No, we got Cactus knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So hit the link in the description of this episode, guys, to do all things EA Basketball. Check out the episode. Subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't already. Drop a like on this video right here. We will be back on Monday morning to do another YB Daily, and then recap this weekend's games, which will be interesting how we tackle that. We'll talk about that, I'm sure. And then, of course, the podcast comes out this weekend. 2 new videos on TikTok every day, new video on YouTube every day. So do all things YB. Support the show. We love you. All right, buddy. Anything else? You good?
I'm good.
All right,
brother. To the weekend. See y'all on Monday.
Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Don't forget, EA Basketball.